Every state government runs a legal operation to claim money you've abandoned, and they keep. The story we're told about unclaimed property is straightforward. You lose track of a bank account, a dividend check never gets cashed, a security deposit sits in escrow. The law says the company holding that money can't keep it forever. Eventually, it gets handed over to the state for safekeeping. The state holds it in trust until you claim it. Simple custody, temporary stewardship, that's the framework. Except the numbers don't match the story. In 2022, states held approximately $58 billion in unclaimed property. That's not a rounding error. That's not pocket change tucked away for future claims. That's nearly the entire annual budget of the state of California, and it grows every year. Here's what we don't discuss. States spend that money, not all of it, not even most of it. They spend it on roads, schools, pensions, and operations. The law allows them to. It's called the general fund. The property belongs to you technically, but the state gets to use it like it's theirs. The mechanism emerged in the early 1900s. States needed revenue. Property abandoned by citizens, unclaimed dividends, forgotten bank deposits, insurance refunds represented a pool of money with no immediate claimant. The legal principle was borrowed from old common law. Property without a clear owner reverts to the crown. America adapted it. The crown became the state. The Uniform Unclaimed Property Act, drafted in the 1950s and adopted across states, formalized the process. Companies holding unclaimed funds had to report them after a period of inactivity, usually 3 to 5 years. The state would take custody. Theoretically, citizens could reclaim their property anytime. Theoretically. But here's where the story fractures. States don't just hold the money passively. They invest it, spend it, and count it as revenue. Some states use unclaimed property to cover budget shortfalls. Some states have never returned significant portions of what they hold. The average unclaimed property account sits unclaimed for decades. Consider the practical reality. You owned a savings account at a bank that closed in 1994. The bank reported your $3,200 to the state. You never knew. The state took it. Today, you'd need to file a claim, provide proof of ownership, and wait for processing. Many states take months. Some require notarized documentation. The burden sits entirely on you. The states, meanwhile, benefit from a mathematical certainty. Most people never claim. They don't know the property exists. They can't locate the paperwork. They've moved. They've died. The longer property sits unclaimed, the more useful it becomes to the state budget. It's interest-free borrowing from citizens who have forgotten they own anything. Some states have modernized their systems. Online databases now allow you to search for unclaimed property by name. That's real progress. But not all states fund these systems equally. Some databases are outdated. Some lack integration with private databases. Finding your property remains harder than it should be by design or by neglect. The effect is identical. The real mechanism is this. Unclaimed property functions as a hidden tax on forgetting. It transfers wealth from scattered individuals to centralized state treasuries. The transfer is legal, it's systematic, it's largely invisible, and it generates tens of billions annually in revenue that no legislator needs to vote on or justify to taxpayers. There are proposals to change this. Some reformers argue states should be required to actively return unclaimed property after a certain period. Others suggest mandatory notification. If the state knows how to contact you, it should. These changes would cost states revenue. That's why they move slowly, if at all. The companies that originally held your money, banks, insurers, utilities, have already moved on. They reported it. They're clear of liability. The state now owns the relationship with you and the burden of claiming. You're separated from your own property by bureaucracy and time. Unclaimed property exists at the intersection of two truths. First, states genuinely can't keep property indefinitely without accountability. Second, states have little incentive to return it. The law acknowledges your ownership. The practice denies you access. That gap is where billions live. The term buried treasure is apt. It's not hidden on purpose. It's buried under procedure, time, and your own forgetfulness. The state didn't steal it, but it didn't work hard to return it either. And in the meantime, it spent yours alongside everyone else's. This is how consumer economics actually operates, not through dramatic theft, through structures that make forgetting expensive and claiming difficult. The mechanism is legal, it's normalized, most people don't know it exists, and that ignorance is exactly what keeps it working. The implications ripple outward. Unclaimed property disproportionately affects people who move frequently, lack stable documentation, or can't navigate government systems. It's a hidden regressive mechanism. The poorest citizens lose the highest percentage of their abandoned assets. The wealthy hire accountants who track everything. Every state maintains an unclaimed property program. Every state benefits from the money sitting there. The system works as intended, just not for you. It works for budgets that need padding without raising taxes. It works for governments that can borrow from citizens without paying interest. It works perfectly. That's the point. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to uncover how everyday systems extract value in ways that are legal, invisible, and permanent. There's a new mechanism every week. Subscribe to uncover how everyday systems extract value in ways that are legal, invisible, and permanent. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.